Hello everybody, welcome back to Tin Man Collections, and today I will be reading a few chapters out of this book. I already went ahead and previewed these encounters, and it's very short, it ain't too long. This would be like, one page, and then you go to the next encounter. So I'm going to do 2 encounters in this video. So let's get started with the first one in Sunny Valley, Oregon. It take place June of 2008. So here we go. Murder in the Valley. I have a farm and fairly large acreage in the Sunny Valley area of North Grains Pass, Oregon. Love to have a farm or ranch to, just wander around on it or anything, just have some land. But anyway, last fall, I was walking my property, checking fences and just routine activities that come with owning rural land. I suddenly got a strange feeling that I was being watched. Not only a passing thought, but an extremely strong feeling. Looking carefully around and seeing no one, I felt uneasy enough that I returned to the house and strapped on my revolver and went back out. The feeling did not go away, so I cut short my tour and went back in the house. About an hour later, my neighbor from up the road came up my driveway and when I went out to meet him, he said that a large cougar had been seen in our area and he was warning everyone to guard their stock. Since I don't have any ranging animals, I checked my horses and made sure the dogs were out. The next morning, I resumed my property check, knowing now that it must have been a cougar that made me feel so uneasy the day before, when suddenly around the corner of my L-shaped pasture, having been alerted by 2 crows calling from the nearby trees, I saw a strange tan-shaped object in the tall grass. A cougar is not going to make you have hair stand up at the back of your neck, no. That would be a Bigfoot, but anyway. It was the remains of a cougar, but it had been mutilated. I brought it back to the barn with my tractor and loaded it in my pickup and drove to the nearest fire department, which in the town of Wolf Creek, Oregon, since there are no police in this area. You got to have a police station in that area, or a sheriff or something, good lordy. I knew the 3 firemen on duty and told them I had a dead cougar, but I needed to have them look at it. The head man said, first, before we look, was his head pulled off? I was shocked and answered, yes, its head and tail were missing when I found it, and there was blood all over. Without so much of a pause, he responded, you have a Sasquatch. Also, they had some encounters with this thing before, but anyway. The other 2 men just nodded knowingly and went out to confirm the condition of the big cat. Now I carry a gun whenever I go out on my land, and so do many of my neighbors. Eventually, these firemen see this kind of scene often enough that they ain't surprised by it, but I'm still am. And the guy's name is, he just put his initials, FP. But yeah, I'll be carrying a Bowie knife, either a bow and arrow or a gun, or maybe even a bat. I don't know, but just something to defend myself, but just in case. Now, the next encounter happened on July of 2005 at Greyback Mountain. So, and before I get to that story, I don't know if you can see a picture of what he was talking about right here of his land. But anyway, let's get to this one. In July of 2005, my wife and I came up from the Bay Area to visit friends in Medford. As we usually do when we visit, we did some hiking together. Since my friend Bob is a retired forestry employee, he knows the mountains very well. This particular day, we had scheduled to hike the Greyback Mountain Trail at the end of Thompson Creek Road. If I remember correctly, it was road number 900. And how many roads did they have up there? Good Lord. It's been a long time now, but Bob saw your article requesting submissions on Bigfoot experiences. Requesting submissions on Bigfoot experiences. So here's one that we'll never forget. We're sending it to you as best as I can remember. Anyway, Bob had strained his ankle the day before, so my wife and I had to go it alone and decided to make one last hike before we returned home. We wanted to see Josephine, country's tallest mountain. So with Bob's directions, we made the trek. The road to our jump-off site was rugged and rocky, and we needed our four-wheel drive. We made it up to the beautiful meadow and stopped at the snow shelter cabin, and then went out across the meadow where the cross cabin once sat. So there's a picture of a cabin, and then got like a meadow sign right there. Anyway, just as we entered the meadow, we heard a loud howl, kind of like a mixture of a howl, a growl, and a screech. Like a something like that, but anyway. It was unlike anything I have ever heard. It was kind of a grunting, groaning, almost growling. I've heard cougar scream before, but it was deeper and not at all like a coyote either. The sound lasted for almost a minute, and then it abruptly stopped. My wife was unnerved, and even though I was armed, it was an uncomfortable experience. We walked past the old cabin site, and just as we stood observing the mountaintop above us, the sound came again from the trees above the meadow. This time we decided that it was time to go back down the trail, and we bare feet, as they say, as we were descending the trail at a brisk pace, we heard a loud series of raps, like someone pounding a stick against a tree. I can tell you that's something in the woods, but anyway. But no further howls. When we related the story to Bob, he just nodded and said, "Sorry, I forgot to mention that possibility, but I've heard similar reports from our Forest Service people over the years. Congratulations, you heard our Bigfoot. Sorry, there's not more to tell, but thanks in advance for the book. D&T Sherman, San Matco, California." And there's a picture right here. But anyway, okay, that's it for now. This book. I mean, really, folks, we only got like a few more to go, and then I'll be done with this book for good. But anyway, that's going to be it for now. Don't forget to like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, and let me know if you guys want to keep hearing encounters out of these type of books like this. So that's another Successful Stone on the Tin Man Collection channel. I'm Jeffrey the Tin Man Taylor. Sayonara, and goodbye, everybody.